Great. So even though everybody's here that that is booked for the class, I'm still going to say welcome to your practice because it could be another time that you're doing this. So hello, whenever you're doing this. So let's get started. We'll start as seated. So let's find our way onto the mat. And just bringing what you need underneath the sitting bones. So that could be the blanket or block, whatever you need. We'll just let ourselves land on the mat. So I invite you to take a full inhale all the way in, inviting the body to gently expand. And as you exhale, a gentle sigh. So you can take that a couple more times if you like. And when you feel ready, you can gently seal the lips. Start to allow the breath to move all the way in and down, inviting the lungs to expand. And the exhale can follow the breath all the way back up and out. You might find you'd like to place a hand onto the area of the chest, or both hands if you like, or maybe the belly or both. And we can take the 3 acknowledgements for our practice. So first one, acknowledging that you are here. You're here. So you might want to say in your mind, here I am, or I am here. Acknowledging that you are here. For the next few breaths, you might want to just go through the senses. Touch, smell, taste, sound, sight. Here I am. Acknowledging how you feel. Maybe mentally scanning through the tissues of the body. How does the body feel? The breath. The mind. And the mood. That gentle acknowledgement, how do you feel? And then finally, acknowledging any intention that you might have for being here. Any intention that you might have for being here. And if you don't have an intention, that's absolutely fine. So if your hands are resting on the body, just let them go from here. And with the next inhale, let's reach the arms forward and up. So expanding and lifting the chest. And then turning to the right as you exhale, a gentle rotation to the right. Inhale, come back up the center, reaching the arms up. And then to the left, exhale, round the midline. Once more each side. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale to rotate. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, reaching up, lift the gaze. And then bringing the hands down through prayer pose all the way down to the midline. So from here, let's just find our way over onto the hands and knees. So take your time, rolling on forward. If you want to have the blankets, because we're going to do a few, when we get to the salutations, we'll do them with the low lunge where we place the knee down. Yeah. So you might want to have your blanket ready for that. So let's start first of all in child's pose. Remember, if it's not so great to take the hips all the way back towards the heels, you can keep the hips elevated over the knees and reach forward that way. But we'll keep this child's pose quite active, okay? So you can let the knees come quite wide, resting back if that works, and then reaching the hands forward. So you can walk the hands forward. The palms of the hands can be sort of lifted off the mat there like little tents. And then the forearms lifted, elbows lifted, and either forehead coming down towards the mat or place a block or cushion under your forehead. So feel free to wriggle around. You can send the sitting bones back towards the heel. Maybe walking the hands forward slightly. Full inhale here. Full exhale. And let's walk the hands to the right side. So treading the hands over to the right. Supporting yourself with the right hand, and we'll walk that left hand over a diagonal line. Forehead can gently move towards or in the direction of the right knee. And for the next 2 breaths, keeping heavy through the left sitting bone. Go nice and easy, but see how it feels to almost slightly, what's the word? Dome the side body, the left side body. Slightly push the ribs at the side. It can be very minimal. Full inhale, full exhale. And then just walk the hands to the other side. All the way through center, patting the hands across, and now reaching that right hand at a diagonal line. Heavy, heavy through the right sitting bone. And you can let your forehead just gently move towards the left knee. And the in-breath slightly doming or pressing those right ribs towards the right side. Exhale. Let's come up to center, walking the hands across. And then with the next in-breath, coming up to the hands and knees. So hips stacked over the heels. Inhale to lift the chest. Exhale to dome the back. Inhale to lift the chest. And exhale to round. Inhale to lift, expanding the front body. Great. Exhale, rounding. Inhale, lifting the heart. Now this time with the exhale, downward facing dog. Push the floor away. You can bend one knee and release heavy through the opposite heel. Inhale, rising up to the balls at the feet. And exhale, the other knee bends, the other leg lengthens. Inhale, balls of feet. Exhale to bend. And then one more. And then let's take a moment just finding your way into downward facing dog. Maybe both legs are lengthening, or you're welcome to bend both knees, okay? Pushing the earth away, lengthening through the torso. And then let's start to walk the feet towards the hands. So take the time, walking the feet in, gently strolling forward. Your feet can be about hip width apart. Maybe a little softness to the knees. So with the in-breath, lengthen through your spine, hands to shins, lift the chest. Exhale and fold. And twice more. Inhale to lift the chest. Exhale. Navel can gently move towards the spine as you fold. One more. Inhale to lengthen. This time, hands to hips. Exhale. Press into the feet. Come all the way up to stand. Inhaling. And then when you're ready, release the arms. And here we are. So you're welcome to lift the toes from the mat, spread them wide, releasing them down. Shoulders can lift to the ears, roll the shoulders back and down. Pausing right here. So noticing that full connection to the soles of the feet. And on the next inhale, let's breathe the arms up. Now stay right here and let the exhale help you catch right wrist with left hand. Inhale, little lean to the left, pressing into that right foot. And exhale back to center, change the grip. Inhale now to the right. And exhale back to center, release the hands. Inhale, lifting the chest. Exhale to fold all the way down, bending the knees as much as you like. Inhale, come halfway to lengthen your spine. With the exhale, bend the knees. Left foot steps back and we'll lower that left knee down. Great. Inhale, breathing the arms up. Exhale, hands to the mat. And either press back hands and knees or straight back to downward dog. Inhale right here. Exhaling fully. Inhale, let's unroll to a high plank. Inhale, shoulders over the hands. And with the exhale, lower the knees, come all the way to the belly. So let's prepare for locust. Arms by your sides. So let the tailbone gently move under. Exhale, find the support of the pelvis. And on the in-breath, lift up. Arms, legs, head and chest. And with the exhale, let's release. Prepare the hands for cobra. Inhale, cobra. Tailbone can keep moving under. Send the heart forward. And with the exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Lengthening through the spine. Inhale, right foot lifting up. Exhale, take the right foot towards the hands or between the hands. Give it a little nudge if you like. Back knee down. Great. So on this move, we'll take the inhale and breathe the arms up. And with the exhale, let's turn to the right. So revolving to your right, reaching the arms to shoulder height. Great. Twice more, just like that. Inhale. Breathing the arms up. Exhaling to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale and we turn. Great. Inhale back up to center. Lift the gaze. And with the exhale, bring the hands down to the earth. And then back to downward facing dog. Inhale to your high plank. Exhale, stay. Tailbone moves under. Press out through the heels. And send the chest slightly forward. Inhale again, just where you are. And then with the exhale, knees, chest, chin, all the way down. To locust. Tailbone moves under a little, falling into the pelvis. Inhale, everything lifts. Exhale, release, prepare for cobra. Inhale, lifting the chest. Send the heart forward and exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot lifts. Exhale, stepping it through. Back knee down. Inhale, breathing the arms up. And then to the left. Exhale, opening the arms to shoulder height. Twice more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhaling. In breath, breathing up. And exhale, hands to the earth. Come on back, downward facing dog. 2 complete breaths right here. Inhale, right foot lifts. Exhale, stepping it through. Back knee goes down. Great. Inhale, breathing the arms up. Exhale, hands to the mat. Back foot stepping forward. And we'll fold in over the legs. Exhale. Inhale, press into the feet. Come all the way up. And just stay right there, but take the the left hand to the right wrist. Inhale, a little lean to the left. Maybe pushing the hips to the right. Exhale, back to center. Then leaning to the right. Exhale to center. Inhale, release the arms. Exhale to fold. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Send the heart forward. Exhale, bend the knees. Left foot stepping back. Lower the back knee. Inhale, breathing the arms up. Exhale from here. Now see how it feels to go straight back to a high plank. If it doesn't work, go downward dog first, and then find your high plank. Okay, great. So we're right here. Inhale. And then with the exhale, knees up or down, lower to the belly. Tailbone moves under. Inhale, start to let your shoulder blades squeeze together on the back and lift up. Inhale. Exhale, everything lowers to cobra. Or maybe you want to lift a little higher. Just see how you feel, yeah? Inhale, lifting up. And exhale, toes under. Downward facing dog. Find your inhale right here. And find your exhale. So next inhale, can take the right foot up. Now on the exhale, let's step the right foot outside of the right hand. So give yourself what you need. Nudge it if you want with the hand. Okay, take your time. And put the back knee down. So we've got that right foot quite wide, and we can turn the right toes out a little. But just if you do that, yeah, just be mindful of what's happening through the sacroiliac joint and the lower back. Sometimes it can get pinchy. If in doubt, keep the toes forward. Just take a moment, just rocking around. Feeling your way into the body. Now you're welcome to either stay here, okay, on the hands, or if you want to, you can come forward onto the forearms. So I'm going to bring the floor a little closer. I'm going to put a little block under my forearms here. And breathe. Again, you can just take any gentle movement. Now, just for a couple more breaths, yeah? Really press deep into the right foot, okay? Press into the forearms, and then pressing into the ball of the back foot. You're welcome to lift the back knee from the mat. So everything that is touching the floor is pushing down. Inhale, another 2 breaths. You might want to push away through your back heel. One more inhale. And then exhale as the back knee's up. Let's gently lower it down. Come back up onto the palms of the hands, inhaling. And then when you're ready, let's find our way back. So maybe you're going back to downward dog, or perhaps you prefer to come back to kneeling. See how you feel. Okay, take some movement. And we'll go to the second side. So inhale, picking up the left foot. Exhale, stepping it wide. Back knee down. Okay. Great. Okay, so yeah, give yourself a gentle movement. So if you want to come forward onto the forearms, let's go ahead. Just keeping very, very present to the sensations in the body. And also when you change, if you alter the shape of what you're in, yeah, then notice how that might affect your breathing. How do things change internally when you shift things externally? So from here, everything pushing down is on the floor, okay? So left foot, forearms, ball of the back foot, back knee can lift if you like. Another 2 breaths. I'm going to just gently tuck my tailbone under and dome my back a little bit like cat pose. Okay, when you're ready, we can lower that down. Come on out. And then let's release that. Feel free to go back to downward dog, or you might want to take a child's pose. Great. When you're ready, let's all meet in a high plank. Inhale. High plank. Exhale, let's lower down. To locust. Inhale, falling into the pelvis. Tailbone can move under. Inhale to lift. And exhale to lower. Prepare now for cobra. Inhale, just gently move the heart through the upper arms. Elbows gently move in slightly. And with the exhale, come on back. Child's pose or downward dog. So we're going to repeat the low lunge again. Okay, so we'll take the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Take your time. And the back knees down. And again, you can just take a little bit of movement, swaying around there. Now this time, all right, I've just angled myself a different way so you could maybe see. This time, we're going to start to walk the hands to the left side. Okay. Now, what you can do here is similar to what we're doing in the child's pose, all right? So it can get quite intense on the arms, but brace yourself with the left hand. And then you can walk that right hand over a diagonal line, okay? Another thing you could do is bring the left forearm to the mat, okay, or to a block. I find that nicer on my wrist, but it requires a little more flexibility in the hips. So just be mindful of that. Breathing here. And again, how would it feel to slightly bow the right side body to the right side? Sink the hips if that works for you. One more inhale. Exhale, let's walk back to center. And then we'll find our way out. So maybe you're coming into downward dog. Perhaps you're coming to the hands and knees. Maybe a bit of circling with the hips before the second side. Or you can hang in downward dog. No problems. Yeah, take your time. Okay, so second side, so we'll take the left foot to the outside of the left hand. Back knee down. And then let's walk the hands a little bit to the right. I'm going to keep out my joints here, so I'm going to come onto the forearm. And then that left arm reaches at a diagonal line along the floor. Again, see how it feels to push into everything that's in contact with the mat. Another deep in breath. Another deep out breath. Let's walk back to center. Take your time. And then finding your way out. Hands and knees. Or downward facing dog. If you're on the hands and knees, maybe a little circle. We'll do a vinyasa in a second. So in a moment, let's all meet in a high plank, okay? Inhale, high plank. Let's exhale and stay. Inhale just where you are. And then with the exhale, knees up or down, come all the way to the belly. Locust, inhale. Exhale, release. Ready for cobra. Inhale, guide the heart through the upper arms. And then with the exhale, tuck the toes. Maybe it's child's pose, maybe it's downward dog. Full inhale. Full exhale. Next inhale, can pick up the left foot. Exhale, stepping it through. Back knee down. Inhale. Breathing the arms up. Exhale, hands to the mat. Back foot stepping forward. Folding in over the legs. Bending your knees as much as you like. Inhale, press into the feet. Come all the way up. And with the exhale, hands come down to your prayer pose. And let's pause here, 5 breaths. So maybe the hands are on the body. Maybe the arms are by your side. Having that sense of your tailbone just gently lengthening down. And then slightly lifting up to the front of the hip bones. Okay. If the eyes are closed, let the eyes open. The next in-breath, let's take the arms up. Reaching up. Exhale, diving forward, all the way down. Inhale, coming halfway to lengthen your spine. With the exhale, bend the knees. This time, stepping back, one foot, then the other. Downward facing dog. If you've got a blanket on your mat like I have, you might want to use this moment just to move the blanket away. Okay, so next inhale, let's pick up the right leg. Now, it doesn't matter how high it goes. If you feel you want to open up the hip, you can bend the right knee, nudge the right knee high to the sky, like unsquare your hips, and then see how it feels to peek underneath the right upper arm. All right, from here, let's come to a regular warrior 1. So right foot steps through. Give it a handy nudge if you like. Back knee goes down, okay? No, sorry, it's a heel. Sorry, everyone, it's a heel. So the knee stays up, the heel goes down. Hands onto the hips. You knew what I meant anyway, I'm sure. Okay. All right, just to give that front thigh just a moment, let's straighten the leg, inhale. And then exhale, bending into that right knee. So anchoring to the back leg. Superb. Now, slightly different version today. What we're going to do is that version where we angle forward. So you reach forward with the arms, inhale. Let's exhale, straighten the front leg and come out of the posture completely. Okay. Let's do that again. Inhale. And exhale. Come out. Great. Again, we're going to stay this time. So inhale, go in. Now this time, keep yourself where you are, body and legs. But then bend the elbows, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Exhaling. Twice more. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, the navel can gently move towards the spine as the elbows draw back. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Elbows draw back. Good. Inhale, this time reach forward and you're welcome to lift the chest, tailbone heavy. And with the exhale, hands to the mat, downward facing dog. Just a high plank. Inhale, high plank. Exhale to stay. Inhale again. And then exhale, downward dog. Left side, let's pick up that left foot. You're welcome to open up the hip, peeking underneath the left upper arm. And then with the exhale, let's step it through, preparing for a regular warrior one. Back heel goes down, hands to the hips, front knee bends. Just get yourself settled. Brilliant. Okay, so we'll straighten through the leg first of all, inhale. And then this time as you go in, exhale, tip the body forward and reach the arms forward. Nice. Okay, inhale, come out. Straighten the leg, arms come down. Exhale. Inhale, we're out. Exhale, moving in. Inhale, we're out. And then we're in. Let's stay right there 3 times. Inhale. Bend the elbows, exhaling. Inhale, reaching forward. Exhale, navel gently lifting towards the spine. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, we cactus. Nice. That's great. Inhale, reach forward. This time, lift the chest. And with the exhale, let's come on out. Hands to the earth. Downward facing dog. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, down to the front body. Locust, inhale. Exhale, release for cobra. Inhale. Tailbone lengthens under, shoulders roll back and down, lifting the chest. Good. And exhale, come on back. Maybe it's child's pose, maybe it's downward dog. Let's take a pause right here. Okay, from here, as you exhale, bend the knees to look forward. And you can step or walk or stroll your feet towards the hands. Inhale to lengthen your spine. And exhale, we fold. Inhale, let's bend the knees, come into Utkatasana, but this time still keep the same shape like you did for that warrior one. So you're going to angle your body forward. Inhale. And exhale, sweep forward, and this time take the arms behind you. Try not link the fingers, but let your shoulder blades move together on the back. I find this feels really weird. Okay. All right, let's do that twice more. So inhale. Utkatasana with that angled body. Exhale, sweep the arms behind you. And the arms just reach back. Inhale, come back into Utkatasana. Okay, this time stay right there. Exhale. Inhale, press into your feet, come all the way up. And then exhale, hands come down to prayer pose. Here we are. Let's take a moment. Inhaling. Exhaling. Just scan yourself for any unnecessary tension or effort. Okay, so from here, let's step out. So we'll face the long edge of the mat or face the device, whatever works. We'll set up for warrior two legs. So you've got a nice, good wide stride with the feet. Right toes turning out. Left toes in slightly. Inhale, reach up with the arms, giant star. Exhale, landing in warrior two. Let's do that twice more. Inhale, press into the earth with the feet. Exhale, warrior two. Down, inhale. And exhale. We'll stay here for a few breaths. I'd like to invite you here to reach both arms forward. And we can do eagle arms. So if your right leg is bent, left arm on top, and then weave the arms. Now, if that doesn't work for you, take that move where you send the left arm to the side into the crook of the opposite elbow. Okay. All right. So keeping that discipline on the right knee as much as you can, so it keeps moving back in line with the little toe of the right foot. And 2 more breaths. We could inhale to lift the elbows a little. Exhale to send the forearms forward. Another one. Inhale. And exhale, forearms forward. Inhale, reach the arms wide. We can straighten through the leg. And as you exhale, feel free to wriggle your left foot in a little. We'll just take Trikonasana for a few breaths, okay? You've got that right leg lengthened now. Let your hand rest wherever it works. And take a few breaths here. Again, it's like you're imprinting each foot down into the earth. Tailbone moving under. One more inhale. Exhale, looking down towards the right foot. Inhale, come on up. Let's give the arms a rest for a second. Toes forward. I'm probably going to want to wriggle the feet a little wider if you adjusted them. Okay. Left toes turning out. To really think about that. Okay, so inhale. Take the arms up. Big star. Exhale, landing in warrior two. 5 more. It's like the breath is breathing you. And exhale. So next time you land in warrior two, just observe the structure of the bent knee, making sure it's all lined up there. And then arms forward, left arm on top, either weaving the arms or reaching. Okay. Keeping heavy in the pelvis, but you're still pressing into the feet. Okay. The in breath can lift the elbows a little. The out breath can send them forward. Inhale, one more. Exhale to send them forward. Inhale, open the arms wide. Exhale, straighten through that leg and probably adjust your feet just a touch. Inhaling where you are. And exhale, Trikonasana, reaching out and over that left leg. Lengthening through your left leg now. Tailbone moving under and opening across the chest. Full inhale. Full exhale. One more in breath. Exhale, looking down towards the left foot. Inhale, let's come all the way up. Toes forward. Lower the arms, hands to hips. Inhale to lift the chest. Exhale to come forward. Just a few breaths here. You can come into this forward fold, either holding the legs, the ankles, or hands to your mat. Wherever you are, pressing into your roots, lengthen your spine. Knees can always stay bent, of course. And as you exhale, we fall. 3 complete breaths. Perhaps invite a little bit of pressure into the hands as they're on the mat. Elbows tracking over your wrists. And it's as though you're squeezing together an imaginary yoga block between your elbows. Inhale, Lengthen through your spine, sending the heart forward. As you exhale, let's walk the hands towards the front end of your mat. Turn those toes to point forward, and then press on back. Downward facing dog, or come to the hands and knees. Inhale to a high plank. Exhale to the front body. Coming to locust. Inhale. Exhale, release for cobra. Inhale. And exhale, child's pose. Take 2 breaths here. You can make this child's pose really soft if you like. Yeah, you don't keep it so active. Maybe a sigh. And when you're ready, you're welcome to either come to kneeling and then just sit down, okay? Or you can come to downward dog and then step to sitting, all right? Either way, I'll meet you down there. Great. Double check our time. Superb. Okay, so you might want to have, okay, what we're going to do is a supportive shoulder stand, okay? With the invitation to come into a regular shoulder stand if you want to, but we'll get there in a sec. For the supportive shoulder stand, we'll start with bridge, and when you come and lie down, just make sure you've got your block and your brick, or even 2 bricks nearby, yeah? So we'll come and lie down on the back body. So we'll start with bridge first of all, and the whole point of doing bridge at this point is to find a support into the backs of the shoulders, okay? Keeping some freedom in the neck and the jawbone. Inhale where you are. With the exhale, let's press into the feet and roll up. Inhale, gently press into your feet a little more. Just explore the connection over the backs of your shoulders. And with the exhale, let's roll down through the spine. So let's go again. Inhale where you are. Exhale, press into your feet and roll up. Inhale, press into your feet a little more. See what happens. And with the exhale, roll down. One more. Inhale where you are. Exhale, press into the roots to come up. And this is where we can use the support. So a brick on whatever height you want, or a brick and block combo, and that will go right under your pelvis. If you want to, you can roll the upper arms under slightly to see how you feel. And be right here. So I'd just like to invite you to notice the support across the backs of the shoulders. Neck is pretty free. Yeah, nothing's going to the neck. And then from here, if you'd like to, you can lift up the legs, and we're in the supported shoulder stand. Right, you do not have to straighten the legs as the hamstrings feel tight. And what I quite like doing here is I like to have my feet, so the inner edge of like my big toe joint touches, the inner edge of my big toes touch. But then I'm noticing now that my heels are apart, and that's fine. It's like I'm holding a card between my feet, between my toes. And that's creating a slight inward rotation of the legs. But you might notice now your knees are kind of pointing straight towards you. I'm generalizing here because it depends on how your legs are shaped. All right, 3 more breaths. Now, if you find that today, if this is just where you want to stay and it's really working for you, then please stay here. Also, if it's a time of the month, or you have any, if you've been unwell, then I suggest not going into the next shoulder stand. You can stay here or come out and do like a little Supta Baddha Konasana. See how you feel. If you do want to go into shoulder stand, I often watch people in classes launch themselves off the bricks. They do it very mindfully. I have to say, I can't do that. Doesn't seem to work for me. I think it's in my mind, but I prefer to come out. Okay. So you can choose what works. Yeah, I'm not saying launching off the bricks isn't a good thing. It's just whatever works for you. So I like to come out, and what I'm going to do as well is I'm just going to quickly grab my blanket. So remember, if you're happy up on the supported one, please stay there. I like to have a blanket under my shoulders. It just makes my back feel nicer. If you're using a blanket, make sure it's nice and smooth. And as you're lying down on that blanket, your shoulders are about an inch from the top edge, okay? So the neck is pretty free. And then you'll inhale, exhale, you can take yourself into your shoulder stand. And remember, you can always keep yourself a little bit bent in the middle, supported by the upper arms. 5 breaths here. Same deal with the legs that you were doing earlier. When you feel ready, you can lower your feet. If you're in the brick-free one, lower the feet over your head towards plow or into plow. If you're on the brick, you might want to come back into the bridge. And then if you're back in the plow shape, reach your arms forward so the arms are like brakes. And then we're going to roll down through the spine. Maybe hold the edge of your mat if you like. And you can roll down, bending your knees as you roll down. Pausing there on the back body. If you're on the bricks, just gradually come down, reducing the height as you go. Rocking the legs to one side and then the other, a little windscreen wiper move. Hugging the knees. And then we'll come up to sitting. So whether you want to rock up or roll to the side and come up. And we'll just do a little bit of cat-cow. This is more for canter posture, really, for shoulder stand. So we can start back in this long child's pose. Take a breath right here. Inhale, rocking up and through. Rolling the heart forward. Exhale, curling back. Hips towards the heels. Forehead towards the mount. Keep going. Inhale. Next time you go back to child's pose, let's do one more. Inhale, come up and through. Exhale to downward dog. And when you feel ready, making your way to sitting. And then we're going to move into Shavasana from here. As you come to lie down, if there's anything else your body wants or needs, or your mind or your heart needs, then feel free to go ahead and do that, okay? And then you can find your way into Shavasana. As you exhale, softening the back of the body down into the earth. With each exhalation, inviting the body to soften and release a little bit more. Gently, gently, breathing in peace and breathing out peace. And just as we take the last moment in Shavasana, I'd just like to share a little quote with you. This is from Dana Fold's: "Perfection is not a prerequisite for anything but pain. Please, oh please, don't continue to believe in your stories of separation and failure. This is the day of your awakening. Perfection is not a prerequisite for anything but pain." You can invite now some gentle movements, fingers and toes, maybe a little rock of the head from side to side. Feel free to have a big stretch through the body. And then taking your time, you can hug the knees in and then find your most comfortable route back sitting. You can always take longer if you want, lying down. So pausing here, just feel free to bring a little support under the sitting bones if you like. We'll be here for approximately 3 minutes. So just making sure you're comfortable. And for a few rounds of breath, we'll work with box breathing. So perhaps inhaling for 3, pausing for 3, exhaling for 3, pausing for 3. Okay. You can always make it a little bit longer if you like, or a little bit shorter. All right. So you're all familiar with this. So I'm going to leave you in peace and quiet. So when you're ready, you can start. When you take your next exhalation, just take one more breath. And then taking a full inhale, maybe a sigh. Just let go of that practice. So box breathing, such a good way to regroup, stabilize and ground. And before we close, coming back to our acknowledgements. I am here. Here I am. Here I am. Acknowledging how you feel. Body, breath, mind, and mood. And acknowledging any intention that you may have had for your practice today. And remembering it's absolutely fine to be intention-free. Just showing up is enough. So we can take an Om together. We can bring the hands together. Let's exhale fully. Inhale. Om. And may all beings know peace and know love and be free from suffering. And may we all teach peace by example. Thank you so much, everybody. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Nadine. Lovely week.
Oh,
Thank
yeah,
you.
take care of yourselves. Yeah, have a great week.
I hope your cold doesn't develop.
Yeah, I think I'm wise to not work tonight, so I'll just stay really cozy and rest and try and nip it in the bud before it turns into anything else. So it's all good. Look after yourselves. There's lots of bugs out there. I've heard there's like quite a sort of strains of COVID and stuff going around. So just look after yourselves and lots of love. Oh, thanks, Lorna.
Bye, everyone.
See you
Bye.
all. Bye, Joanna.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye,
Thank you. Take
Dale.
care.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
Bye. Bye.